My Jasmine should take half this time. Got it. All right. I get it.
Closed captioning provided by
Good evening.
Hello, how is everyone tonight?
Fine.
Good.
How you been?
Everyone, not bad, not bad. Everyone's staying dry.
Oh, yes.
I know it just came through here, that's for sure.
Yes, it did. Came through really fast.
So we're gonna give everyone a couple more minutes. The email just went out to everyone reminding, so we'll give everyone a couple more minutes and then we'll begin.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. We're just gonna give 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Ms. Richardson, good evening, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll do some quick introductions. If anybody wants to introduce themselves, maybe tell where you're located or anything about yourself. Feel free to introduce yourself. I'm just going to be letting people in the room as they come in. I'll start off. My name is Tom Donohue, the ANC 8A01 Commissioner. This is our monthly neighborhood, or what they call single member district meeting. It's held every month on the 4th Tuesday of every month. This laptop that I'm using is slow as can be, so bear with me. Okay, so if there's anybody that wants to introduce themselves, you can tell who you are, or maybe where you're from, or certainly if you have any announcements or anything. We'll go through a couple of agenda items, and then we'll also open it up for community discussion. I want to make sure that Ms. Richardson has the opportunity to speak before and address the Ward 8 Senior Wellness Center. So we'll go over that momentarily. But is there anybody that would like to introduce themselves?
Good evening. My name is Maria Stewart, and I reside in the 2000 block of Nella Road, Southeast.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Miller. I live in the 1800 block of Minnesota Avenue.
Again, welcome. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Evelyn Williams, and I live in the 2100 block of Minnesota Avenue.
Ms. Williams, welcome.
Hi, I'm Tamika Pinckney outside of the 2300 block of Nicholson Street.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I live on the 2100 block of Fairlawn Avenue.
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, if I don't hear anybody else, I'll go ahead and continue. As I do that, I'll maybe continue to add people. I don't know why they don't automatically just come into it, but So this evening, what we're going to do is we have a couple of agenda items that were discussed, but wanted to get an update on the Ward 8 Senior Wellness Center. Ms. Richardson, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself, and if you want to provide us an update, that would be great.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Donohue. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Richardson, and I serve as the Chief of Staff at the Department of Aging and Community Living. I have been at the agency for 6 years, so I started right at the top of the pandemic, before we knew a pandemic was coming. So have definitely been around for quite some time in the agency and have been with district government for almost 9 years now. So for those of you who do not know about the Ward 8 Senior Wellness Center that's coming to Fairlawn, I do want to just give some background that we do have 6 senior wellness centers across the district: Ward 1, Ward 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is one currently in Ward 8 in Congress Heights, in the Congress Heights community, the Congress Heights Senior Wellness Center. And so this one, while there's going to be a second wellness center added in Ward 8, the purpose of this wellness center is for it to be a citywide senior wellness center where everyone, no matter what ward you live in, can come to this wellness center, because the focus is nutrition and the mantra of eat well, live better. And because it's going to be co-located at Kramer Elementary School, Kramer Middle School, that's what also makes it very unique, because this senior wellness center will have intergenerational programming happening, with the school being literally right across the way. Just wanted to give a quick update of where we are with the wellness center and breaking ground. This project has been in the works for a very long time. COVID definitely played a part in the delay, and obviously funding and different changes have made a part in the delay. But right now we are in the solicitation process of ensuring that we can find the right general contractor to lead this project and make sure that we can bring it from groundbreaking to ribbon cutting. That has been a difficult part for our partners at the procurement office and with DGS. And it's not because it's been a difficult process because of procurement processes, but because we haven't found the right contractor. And we believe that we want to make sure that Ward 8, particularly this community and our seniors on Ward 8, receive the best. So we are re-soliciting the project. Actually, this Friday, the bid will be open, Friday, July 31st. And it is our goal to have a general contractor in place by the end of this fiscal year. The fiscal year ends September 30th, 2026. So the goal would be to end this year, the calendar year, December, with having a groundbreaking for that senior wellness center. So that is the latest and greatest update when it comes to the Senior Wellness Center coming to Fairlawn. I'm open to answer any questions anyone may have. If anyone wants to learn more about the work of DACL and how we support seniors, not just in Ward 8, but across the city, I will put my information in the chat. So feel free to send me an email or send me a text or give me a call. I'm open to new ideas, to talking to people and putting you all in the right direction. So I will take any questions that anyone may have.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. I have a question, as you can imagine, what that might be. So it's not something I share with anyone or anything, but what happened? It appeared as though we did have a contractor on the project. And obviously unforeseen things happen, I understand, but what happened that we sort of took a step backwards?
So as I mentioned, we want to make sure we have the right contractor in place. And so there was not the right contractor in place. That's as simple as I can put it. And we're going to re-solicit the bids and ensure that we make sure we have the best contractor in place that can deliver on this project safely to the highest quality possible for our seniors.
Okay, for those that didn't know, previously there was a tentative schedule date for a groundbreaking, and it was canceled, and so everyone was kind of wondering what had happened, and so that's why I called Ms. Richardson for an update, and I'm very grateful that she took the time to come in and offer us that update. I know there's been a lot of questions people have asked me, several people have asked me about it, especially those who would be in and around Kramer Middle School and how it would affect them and things like that. And I think that conversation is going to be an important conversation to have once we get that general contractor on and we get the groundbreaking going. I know it's been the mayor's high priority to have done, and so I'm sure she's looking forward to a groundbreaking before she leaves office at the end of the year. So we're looking forward. Does anybody have any questions about the wellness center, what it might be used for, or anything like that?
Hi, this is Lovette Harrison. Yes, my question is, what just what Tom said, what is the wellness center going to be used for, and how will it benefit the seniors in the area? What programs will be available, and what programs will be available for seniors?
Thank you, Ms. Lovette, or Ms. Harris, for your question. So this wellness center will run typically like the rest of our senior wellness centers. Hold on, I had a message pop up. The rest of our senior wellness centers across the district, our wellness centers are a place where seniors can come to engage with one another, receive a hot meal, work out, take a variety of classes, and really just find connection, and also connection to government resources and services across the district. It will be co-located right next to Kramer Middle School. So if you all are familiar with that area, there's like a big heritage tree that's right there on that field. So that is the vision, and that's actually where the plans are for the wellness center to be constructed and to be located. In terms of additional programming, that's where the seniors and the Fairlawn community get to come in, right? We work very closely with the seniors at every wellness center and in every community to really design the programming, because we believe that our programming is for seniors. It's not just for seniors, but it's also by seniors, right? So all of our wellness centers have advisory committees. The seniors are very vocal in what they want to see in the wellness center as it pertains to programming. But just to give you a main gist, like I mentioned, definitely nutritious meals. So we provide a hot lunch every day. Every wellness center is equipped with a gym, a computer lab, multi-purpose centers to have town halls, play bingo, do art classes. This particular wellness center will have a state-of-the-art industrial or commercial kitchen where meals can be cooked together with seniors, and there can be some food demonstrations that happen. But again, when it comes to the nitty-gritty in terms our senior, we would look to you as well as other seniors from the community to join us in letting us know what type of program you want to see, so we can ensure that happens in that center.
Where will this facility be held specifically? Will it be like on the behind Kramer, like where the basketball courts are? Or, I mean, the reason why I'm asking is because my house is right behind Kramer. So given that it's going to be open to all seniors, it almost sounds like it's going to be an influx of people, parking, and all of that activity in our area now. So where is it going to be physically built, held, open? Where is the facility going to be located? Uh-oh, I think we froze. Something funky is going on with your internet. It looks like you frozen. Tom, is that me or is that you? Or
no,
it's probably her. She's frozen. She can't answer you if she's frozen.
Right.
Oh, there she is. She's back. Ms. Richardson, we can see you now at least. She may have to log out and log back in maybe. We'll give her a second.
So Tom, are you familiar with where the facility is going to be? Because you know where we are located. So that means for our neighborhood, it's going to be, like I said, an influx of new people, traffic.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My apologies. I don't know what happened to my iPad that I was on talking to you all from. So I just joined from my phone. And I heard your question, it's Miss Harris, right?
Harrison.
Harrison, okay. I heard your question about where is it physically going to be located, the influx of people. I did hear that, and I did want to have the opportunity to respond to you. So what I can do is share with Commissioner Donohue, and we've shared it before at some of the meetings, but we'll share it definitely again. Is the actual drawings and the plans, so you can see where it actually is located. But if I can share with you as visually as possible, that lot that is next to the school, it's a big tree, it's a heritage tree that's right there on the corner where the fence is. That is where the senior wellness center will be located. And then where the basketball courts is, the basketball courts will be relocated a little further back, and we're going to be putting parking, so we'll be redoing the parking lot also for the school. So the school will have 45 parking spots. I don't know what's going on. Can you all hear me now?
I can hear you.
Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
The parking lot is going to be reconstructed as well. So Kramer Middle School will have 45 parking slots, and the Wellness Center will have 44 parking spots.
Okay. So now, Tom, I get a gist of why we got the new design for the streets and the street signs with the school parking and sort of putting poles in front of people's houses, which is preventing them from parking because the new facility is coming and it's going to be an influx of, going to be many changes. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with DACL.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with you guys earlier this year and for the last year and a half with my grandmother.
Okay.
So maybe it'll be a little more useful for the neighborhood people. So
I
that's a good.
I I hope so. That is our hope. And so let's continue to stay in touch. Let's continue to stay engaged. And Commissioner Donohue, I'm happy to join these meetings regularly to provide updates on where we are with this, so that you all are informed, are engaged on the process. Even if there is even if there's not an update, I'm happy to join. And I'll send Commissioner Donohue the drawings, which I think you may have, Commissioner Donohue, but I'll send them again, so that everyone on a part of the commission can receive them and kind of just get a visual of where the wellness center will sit in the community.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
It sounds like an awesome resource. I'm surrounded by a lot of seniors, plus my dad is a senior. He stays with me, so it's cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is Maria. I attend the Washington Wellness Center.
Okay.
And the one down here, Randall, will definitely be close to me.
Okay. Well, we are working hard, so you don't have to travel too far, and you can go to the one that's in your neighborhood.
Yes, it's really in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question for that wellness center. You said it's a computer lab, gym, and all that stuff. So will you also be offering like workshops and classes for the seniors? Because I have my name is Erica Downing, and I am
Mm-hmm.
co-founder and CTO, well, all of the above, of Flowbot Forge, where we teach AI, productive ways to use AI
Mm-hmm.
efficiently, and also AI governance and policy usage. So how to use it safely as well.
I think we may have lost her again. Can everybody
Yeah,
hear
she
me?
must have lost. Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you, but she lost connection. I saw her drop off.
Okay. And I would just add the traffic control devices that were put up in the area were actually had nothing to do with the senior center. It actually had to do with the school itself. So well, Kramer had it last summer, no, 2 summers ago, and she is returning. Hey, Ms. Richardson.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, my apologies. I heard from Ms. Downing discussing the AI organization that she has in the workshops, but I missed the rest of it. Sorry.
I was just wondering if you were looking to offer any workshops and classes within that sector for them.
Yeah,
For the
so
wellness center.
we
And we can partner with
currently
you.
we currently work with Octo on the workshops and programming with the wellness centers, but this is what I will share with you all. All of our wellness centers are operated by a grantee. So, for example, for Congress Heights, Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative is our grantee that operates that wellness center on behalf of DACL. It is a government building, but they are the grantee that are managing and managing the day-to-day operations of the wellness center. So we give our grantees the autonomy to bring in other organizations and facilitators to bring programming to seniors that may be of interest to them. That is a part of their funding. So if that is of interest to the operator of the wellness center, which we haven't selected yet, that's most definitely something I think they would welcome.
How do y'all choose the people? Like you chose the Far Southeast for the one you named. Like, how do you choose the people that
Congress
are
Heights.
running each one?
Mm-hmm. So we do it. We have an
We are
RFA.
CPE certified as well, so yeah.
Yeah, so we have an RFP process, which is currently not open because great. Uh, there's a operator for all of our wellness centers at the time. So when we get ready to open this wellness center in Fairlawn, we will have an RFP process that will go out, a request for proposals for an operator of this particular wellness center. So just continue to stay engaged, stay in touch for those opportunities.
Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Richardson, do those announcements get posted? Like, how would somebody be able to keep an eye out for those announcements? Where is there a particular place that people could see, get updates, or be able to have access to that information?
Are you referring to solicitation, like RFPs?
Yep.
So when we get ready to post and request for proposals, we post them on our website and we also post them on our social media accounts. It is very we don't necessarily do an RFP process every fiscal year. We do something that we call a continuation grant for our grantees within our network. But if there is an opening, we would do a request for proposals. It will be posted on our website and our social media accounts. And we will also send it, of course, to our listserv. So if you are receiving the DACL newsletter, you to receive it. If you want to subscribe to the newsletter, feel free to reach out. I dropped my email address as well as my phone number in the chat.
Great, thank you. Are there any other questions? These are great questions, by the way. Mr. Richardson, I actually looked, I was trying to, hold on one second. I was looking for the drawings. I know that I've covered it in detail in one of my previous meetings, but I couldn't find it in my email. Otherwise, I would have showed it. I'll make sure I can, if you want to resend it to me, I'll put it up on our website and make that available for everyone to take a look at if they want to see it.
Sure. I'll make sure to send that to you this evening.
Cool. Thank you. Ms. Downing, did you have something you want to say?
I did have a question. You said the RFP, you said it went out through social media and your email list, but is it
No,
listed as
I said it would.
DSLBD also?
I said it would go through
Yeah, just
we don't
because
have
it hasn't
anything
been.
up right now. Yeah, so we'd work with we would work with DSLBD too to post it
Okay.
as well.
Okay, just verifying. Okay.
No problem.
I have seen some of the drawings in what the inside is it's gonna be actually an amazing addition to our community, and for, Ward 8. So continue to keep an eye out for it. And, I know there's been a lot of people that have been doing a lot of work on it to get to this point. So, when, they announce the groundbreaking, we'll be sure to, get that information out to the community so you can, come join us. Does anybody ever have any other questions for Ms. Richardson? Okay. Angela, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been thanks for the update. I know it's been something we've been looking forward to hearing. And so you're always welcome to join us. We're here every fourth Tuesday of each month. Join you if you haven't joined our listserv, feel free to do so on our new website, which is being redesigned. You can sign up for the listserv there, but you're always welcome to join us, and we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for
Thank you, Ms.
having me.
Richardson.
Thank you so much,
Have a good evening.
everyone. I will definitely make it my business to come here at least once a quarter. If I'm not able to make it once a month, I think that's something I could definitely commit to. But thank you all so much for your enthusiasm, your questions. And again, if you have any further questions, my information is in the chat. And we're going to continue to push this forward so we can have this senior wellness center come to life in Fairlawn. Have a good night.
Good night.
You too. Good night.
All right, everybody. So I'm actually kind of a bit annoyed because I had emailed the commander today in regards to having somebody here from MPD, who has also been on a calendar invite that, but I know he was on vacation, but I believe he came back this week. So I was hoping that they would be on. And I called them at the start of the meeting to try to get somebody on, and unfortunately I wasn't able to connect with anyone. So it doesn't look like MPD will be on tonight, unfortunately. I know I had Ms. Williams, I'm sorry, I tried. We do wanted to bring up a bunch of different things. And I think this is a good time to sort of talk about the challenges that we have been facing in Fairlawn when it comes to safety and security and the drug abuse problem, along with our squatting issues. So I have been very, very vocal about my concerns in regards to the squatting community, the drug addiction addicts, who have literally taken over a block from Kramer Middle School, the 1800 block of Minnesota Avenue. They have infiltrated a building that has residents in it and has pretty much taken over it, and another 1810, which is even closer to Kramer Middle School. They had broken back into, if you all know how hard I worked to get everybody out of the big white building on 19th Street, which is 1507, 1509, and 1511. And finally was able to get DOB, Department of Buildings, to board it up. so that nobody was getting into it. Well, unfortunately, they literally took the boards off of the doors. I had DOB replace the boards 2-3 Fridays ago, and within hours they busted out the glass, one of the glass panes next to it, and made their way back into the building. So I started to get a little bit more sort of trying to think outside the box a bit. So I had them basically, I talked to the property management company, and what I had them do is write me documentation allowing for MPD to arrest anybody that entered into the building, and allow me specifically to be able to write barring notices. It's something that I'm going to try. I don't mind. You know, these people are not on the ground every day. However, these are some of the things that we've been working on behind the scenes that you wouldn't necessarily know or see. But you all know how often I'm out into the community and into the neighborhood and infiltrating myself into what's going on. And so I have been having regular conversations with MPD, and I think it's important to note that just because you may not see something necessarily happening doesn't mean that there's not anything happening. And I think I really want to stress that to you. You know, we've been working very closely with MPD and the crime victims, or the violent crimes suppression group. We have been seeing, you know, a significant amount of arrests for various things that have been taking place in and around Q Street. My biggest concern is, you know, this plays into a much bigger picture is, you know, with this activity being happening within a block of Kramer Middle School, you know, this also affects Kramer's enrollment, because nobody wants to, you know, send their child to Kramer, you know, with this sort of activity happening within one block of the school. So it is a high priority. If you recall, early on in my becoming a commissioner, I focused very heavily on the 2200 block of Minnesota. Now, granted, we still are seeing the people conjugating. There's really not much we can do about that. I have had conversations with them about how well it's they're leaving leaving it at night. There's better days than others, but for the most part, you know, 4th of July, you know, 4th of July is 4th of July, but they actually came back that next morning and even cleaned up more. So I think that there's a good, you know, ongoing relationship with some of those that are conjugating. The bigger issue for me was also the drug activity that was happening on the opposite side. And there's been some really good progress. I hope you all have seen the difference in that block with the enforcement actions that MPD has taken. It's not perfect, but it is a pretty big significance. So my attention has to move towards Q Street and addressing the squatting issue, basically. We literally have had squatters break into the building, break into individual apartments, and literally have taken over the building. It's becoming a health department issue. It's plainly disgusting inside. And so the challenges, and what's the frustrating part is that our squatter laws are inexistent, really. And so the mayor has recently, Kwame, I'll answer your question in just a second. And so, what was I saying? There's a lot of things that I think are happening. One of the things you're going to start to see is mental health vans coming into Fairlawn. It's something that I'm asking and have requested specific days of the week, like an actual schedule, so that I can hold them accountable, because we continue to hear that these vans are in the community, and I've seen the van literally once at Triangle Park. Now, I only live 2 blocks from the park, and I think I'm out pretty regularly, so I could be wrong that they're not out there. If anybody else has seen the van out there, please let me know, but I've seen it out there once. I do not know what the breakdown is, because I have made multiple requests in bringing resources to the blocks for people to get assistance. Now, whether they take it or not is a different discussion to have. However, I feel very strongly that we need to at least bring resources and sort of, provide an opportunity for hope for people to be able to change their lives. And it just may be that one day that the van is there that somebody, decides to make that decision to change their life. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm be very clear. I've always thought this way. These folks, I consider these folks our neighbors. Yes, do they bring some challenges to the neighborhood? Of course. However, they are human beings, and I don't know if maybe some of you saw over the 4th of July weekend on those really hot, terrible days that we had. I worked with Surprise Grocery to provide free water and ice, and made sure that they were taken care of. This is the human side of me. This is the human side of all of us that we should care about. And as much as, at times they can wreak havoc in our community, they're also part of our community. And, I hope that we bring the right resources on the right days where we can bring these resources to people. But it's been a challenge working with DC agencies to get these vans and get these resources out here. For whatever reason, I don't know, it's been asked even since January, since the mayor walked our single member districts through Q Street, or down our Q Street to 19th. Like, this is a top priority, and I had a very candid and frustrating and very frank conversation with Quentin, who is our MOCR from the mayor's office yesterday, and probably a side of me that most of you have not seen, and because I think that, and that frustration comes from, our streets have been trashed, and there are certain things that have not been taken care of, and we may put 311 requests in, and they just have been not dealt with. Inspector Briscoe has come out, surveyed them, escalated them to like a street cleaning, or there's been couches behind 22nd Street for over a week or two that haven't been addressed. And so this week I escalated an email up to the director and copied the mayor's office, and we're actually starting to see some of those matters being addressed. And so keep in mind that I'm just a volunteer. And not that I like to use that as an excuse, but it's in reality, when it comes down to it, we have to rely on these other agencies to do their jobs. And as much as assertive as I can be, when it comes down to it, even though I may represent you, I'm still a volunteer that You know, and so relationship building with these folks is really, really important and challenging at times. So I think the conversation that I had with Quentin from the mayor's office yesterday and various other entities, I'm hoping that the next couple of weeks we're going to start to see some changes. And that's like physical changes, like the streets not be so trashy. I'm also working with DC Water because the sewer system, when it rains, you know, and it flushes all that stuff down to the sewer, well, a lot of these basins are full. And so I'm asking for DC Water to create a schedule in which I know which waste the waste baskets are being changed. They're supposed to be doing it, I think, every quarter. I don't think it's been done in quite some time. But it makes a big difference because when the rain does come down, it flushes everything into these into the sewer, and there's these basins, they catch up all that stuff, and it does help to keep the streets clean. And so, you know, those are some of the things that I've been working with our, you know, our partners and DC Water. In fact, just today, if you all remember the sewer backup that occurred last year, where we had eight, I think it was, residents who had sewage back up into their units, or in their houses. And Anacostia High School had significant sewage backup. I finally just I requested a walkthrough of the area with DC Water for the final time today. There's a couple of outstanding things that need to be, that I pointed out that need to be addressed. It's going to be addressed probably within the week. But DC Water is finally, in regards to the lead pipe on Fairlawn and in Fairlawn. I know they're doing some on Minnesota Avenue, but between that and the sewage backup, they are out of the Fairlawn area, which I'm sure for some is very exciting. So it's been a challenge with them over the last year. I have a couple other things, but I do want to take a break to see if there's any questions on anything that I've covered so far. Hey.
Is there any update on the bus stops, Tom? 1900 block of Minnesota?
Yes, you said the bus stops, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate that. So I had received several complaints about the conditions of the bus stops at 19th Street. And I spent a couple of days getting up at, one day I was up there really early, one morning I was up there too. I wanted to see what the conditions of the bus stops were at different hours of the day. And I had the opportunity to talk to some of our neighbors about their concerns. They're very, very valid concerns about the conditions of the bus stops. So the bus stop at 19th Street is actually going to be removed probably by the end of the year. It's being relocated. If you go to our ANC website, so it's ANC 8A01.com. I think it's under resources. You'll see there's a page specifically for Minnesota Avenue bus stop. You'll be able to see the changes and where they're moving it. But because the stop at 19th Street is sort of repetitive with 18th Street, they're removing the bus stop at 19th Street and relocating it. And so a lot of that information is available on our site at ANC8A01.com, and I believe it's under resources, if I remember correctly. I forget what I put under. But so we will see that bus stop being relocated and it'll go, so it'll be 22nd Street and then 18th Street. They just felt like it was repetitive having 2 bus stops in consecutive streets. Mr. Perry asked, what is the end goal for that white building? So it's a great question. So I've been working closely with the owner of the management company. Basically what's happening, the management company is waiting for some final permits to come through. I have offered my assistance in helping as best as possible, try to help push some of those through as soon as possible. So I would expect, you know, they had told me that as soon as they informed me that as soon as they get the permits, they are ready to begin work on it. We'll see if that comes to truth, but it's my position that I want to get them their permits as quickly as possible so we can start seeing some positive movement on that disgusting white building that's been terrorizing our 19th Street corridor for many, many, many years. The plan for it is they are actually going to be adding an additional floor. So if you look at 1525 19th Street, which is right next door, if you look at 1525, which is right next door, they added an additional floor. So they're basically going to be doing the same thing. They're gutting it and they're adding an additional floor. And then we'll be opening it back up to the community. Time frame on that, I'm not sure. However, I've been told that as soon as they get the permits that they're ready to begin. So my goal is to assist them in pushing through or trying to assist them in putting pressure on getting the permits to them as quickly as possible. I'll also note that I am fed up and disgusted with the 3 townhomes on 19th Street that were affected by the fires. I have made it very clear that the condition of the front lawns of those 3 properties is not acceptable. There are weeds that are growing that are taller than me, that are as tall as the porch out in the front of the yard. So I've been given a commitment that the abatement team will go and address those issues and hopefully make it look a little bit better. We do have to keep in mind that these are private properties. Government is not, you know, we're not in the business of property managing private properties. And so it can be a little bit of a challenge. And I'm very grateful to the teams at Department of Buildings for their patience with me as I continue to insist that some of those things get done. But I also have to step back and remind myself that there is a process for addressing these things. Yes, Ms. Downing. Erica?
Sorry, I couldn't press, the button was not working for me.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm glad you did bring those houses up because I had to walk past them earlier today, and it's more than it just being taller than the porch. It's like I had to step out into the road.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, and I'll share with you that as you know, Ms. Brown was the 4th property owner that the fire was affected, and she had since passed. She passed a month after the fire took place. So I actually do take these 4 properties very personally, and for her and her family, I try to protect it as much as possible. So I have made the request, and in fact, and sometimes it's a lot of red tape that I have to go. They wanted me to put in a vacant property inspection. And I'm like, well, A, we already know it's vacant, and B, we know, like, why do we have to do this? But, so I did that, and it still hasn't been done. So, again, I reached out to the director of DPW, this week, along with a long list of 311 requests that have not been completed and have been assured by Quentin with the mayor's office, the mover's office, that those matters are going to be addressed and addressed. So hopefully, Erica, we won't be seeing that much longer, unfortunately, until the property owners decide to do something with the actual properties themselves. We'll have to look at the, god awful sight of the burned down buildings. But at the very least, if I can get the front yards cleaned up to make it look a little bit better for those on that block, it's certainly my goal. These poor folks on this block have not only had to deal with the fires, but also the big red, the big white building across the street for many years. And so
there's another issue too.
Yeah.
So the burnt down houses, and then if you keep walking down the street, there's a tree by a white fence that they keep sitting there getting high and stuff behind the tree, like they're hiding behind the tree. The tree is not a curtain. It's not hiding you. I can see all four of you sitting there with your pipes in your hand. Go somewhere else, please. So, I think that corner of Q and 19th Street.
Yep. And so, Erica, this is what I would say. I have to sort of choose my words carefully here. Part of my job, one of the things I've had to have had to learn is patience. All I'll say is that all of the entities that need to know. And that we have to just let law enforcement do their thing. And they're very, very familiar with the situation. And as information, is shared with me from community, and neighbors in and around that area, that information is immediately shared with MPD. So I think, as much as I hate to say, bear with us, there's a process that MPD and other entities have to have in order to take some sort of enforcement. And so, and again, I hope that by bringing the bans in, and on a regular basis I've asked them for several weeks. And so I'm trying to work that out now, that we can start to hopefully address it. And again, I understand that people have to be willing to want the help, but we haven't tried it yet. And so I think that we need to try that. And whether it's one person that may walk into that van, then maybe that's the day that person's life gets changed. I don't know, but if we haven't tried, then we need to try first. And so I'm going to try to bring as many resources to Q Street as possible. But I've also made it very clear to the residents along that block, squatters or not, that this behavior is not going to be tolerated. And in the short term, they may be able to get away with or do whatever they want, and it may appear that way, but just know that there's a lot of eyes watching what's happening. And I think I'm working with various agencies to try to look at what we can do with 1828 Q Street and 1810 to address it from, can the properties be sold at a tax sale based upon whether they pay property taxes? Can the Office of the Attorney General, who has again been very involved or been very informed, because often they don't respond to us, they are sort of collecting a lot of information, and we don't really get much feedback from them. However, these types of enforcements are, information building and getting information in order to take some sort of a process. But one of the things that I've requested for consideration is a receivership for some of these properties. Unfortunately, it just takes time, and when you're one of the tenants in this building who is paying rent, and have the trash, and like, I'm not to get gross, but to make it clear, I literally walked into the building last week and somebody had defecated right on the floor in the stairwell, and it sat there, and yeah, it's frustrating, guys. I can't lie to you. This is probably one of the biggest challenges I had to deal with. And it's very frustrating because I want to be able to do something, but the squatting laws, it's very impossible at this point. Now, the mayor has recently made some indication that she's potentially going to be bringing some legislation forward, hopefully by the end of the year. So I have sent a formal letter to each of the at-large council members this past week, requesting that they do a tour with me of these properties. I think now is the best time that we could potentially have influence in actually changing the law. And so I want these council members to come to Q Street and look at and understand the challenges that we're facing. Once a squatter gets into a building or an apartment, they know how to work the system. And to get them out of the system of the building is very, very difficult, and they know it. And they know that MPD is very restricted by what they can do. Yes, the law says something like 30 days, but how do you determine when that 30 days started, when they didn't start? I mean, MPD is not the judge in that, and so that 30 days really it means nothing really. And so I've requested, and now council is on break, summer break. They come back, I think it's September 15th. However, their teams are still, checking emails and stuff like that. So I have requested them to, and if I have to do a walk on September 15th, but given the indication that the mayor is discussing squatting laws right now and potentially looking to put legislation forward before the end of the year, I think that this is our biggest opportunity to really educate them and to come together to look at how to address the squatting issues, but also address it correctly. Because there's a lot of people that are unhoused, and that's also a big problem. Remember, in my opinion, these are all our neighbors, and we should care about them like neighbors. I know sometimes that theory is hard to do, especially when you see them doing the things that they do at times. However, they're human beings, and I firmly believe that we also need to make sure that they're treated as human beings. And so that's why I'm going to try to infiltrate this.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, but I agree with you completely. I was unhoused at one point as well, so I fully understand. And also, I was with the National Alliance to End Homelessness. They had a conference a couple weeks ago, so I was working with them as well. And we went to Capitol Hill, so we heard some of this discussion that is going on the new legislations. So yeah, it is frustrating.
Well, I mean, if you have learned anything, I am very open to, hearing how other, cities do things. Anyway, we need to bring, the minds together to really look at squatting and drug abuse problems in Fairlawn. And start attacking it in a different way. Insanity is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting this, a different result. And what we're doing is not working. And so I'm hoping that our council members, and please feel free to reach out to your council members, reach out to Trayon, reach out to all the at-large council members, including Chairman Mendelson, and encourage them to take me up on my offer to walk our neighborhood, to better understand the challenges that we're having, to talk to the owners of these buildings, who at this point don't know really what to do. And in a lot of cases, they've given up. Because they can't easily get these people out of their building, and it's a costly thing to go through and try to evict people who you don't even know their names. And so just know that there's a lot of stuff that we're trying and doing behind the scenes. It may not look like anything's happening, but there really is. And this is almost a daily conversation. I want to sort of move forward. Does anybody have any input or thoughts or anything on anything I've said so far? Okay, so let's move on to some more exciting things. I think it's Friday, the 31st. I've been invited by Principal Hutchins over at Boone Elementary. We are going to tour the immediate area in and around Boone Elementary to get ready for back to school. Moms and dads and families that have kids, I'm sure you're all so excited about them going back to school. So we want to make sure that the kids go back to school, but to an area that is very safe. Now, if you remember me talking about all of the flex strips and things that were put up around Kramer, that same program evaluated the safety around Boone, and so you're gonna see some changes occur as a result of that study. We literally was out talking to parents and getting feedback 1 or 2 days. And so they have taken that information and they'll be reporting that back to us, and then there'll be changes like flex strips and restricting some parking and things like that. I haven't gotten the plan yet, however, I do expect to get that any time. And so that same sort of targeting safety measures that happened at Kramer is now happening at Boone. Now keep in mind, Boone is a fairly new school, so a lot of the things have already been implemented that they would an older school like Kramer. So if you want to walk with us, I'm assuming that the community certainly can walk with us as well. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'll talk to the principal. But I think MPD is going to be on the walk, or it's a community, sort of pre-assessment of the paths that students will walk to assure that they're safe getting to and from school. Okay, some exciting things. So August 8th, Saturday, August 8th, we're doing a community cleanup. Now, kids will be back to school, but I genuinely think that this is an opportunity for families to come out and invest in our neighborhood. And if you bring the kids, investing them into our neighborhood is very important as well. We will have other community members from outside of Ward 8 coming in to help as well. And we're going to start at Kramer Middle School at 10 o'clock. Everyone that's on this call, I hope you jot it down in your scheduling book and come spend a couple of hours with us. Bring the kids, and get them invested in helping to clean up our streets as well, because you just never know. They may say, they may be walking down the street and seeing somebody, one of their friends throwing stuff on the ground, and they say something, that sort of thing, hey, I had to clean that up. They remember those things. And so bring them, encourage them to take on some civil, duties that will help clean up the actual streets that they walk on and they live on. And so, you know, we'll probably do Fairlawn. I'll evaluate which streets are in need of it the most. But all you have to do is show up. We'll have hand pickers and garbage bags and stuff like that. But you know, come on out, get to know some of your neighbors, and help invest back into our community. With that said, we're also doing. We're gonna try something else. Thanks to Ms. Henderson. We are going to do a community yard sale on September 5th and 6th. Robin, that's a great idea. I think inviting the landlords to the cleanup as well is a great idea. For Young Street and Naylor Road, it's the new building that they built on Naylor Road. 1941. I forget the exact address. I'm sorry. But also they own another building on Young Street where the trash has been overpiling and things like that. I've made contact with their property management finally. His name is Way, and I'm hoping to get them more engaged. So I'm hoping that the trash issue will resolve itself, and that we've got a good contact to, again, you know, get our streets cleaner from that. But the community yard sale, September 5th and 6th at Triangle Park. You have to register because we have to know how many people are going to need spaces or spots. And so, and as we get closer, we'll share more details. There's gonna be some rules and things like that, just to make sure things are orderly and stuff like that. But I think that if you've got something to sell and you know, start putting stuff aside, I think this is going to be a really great opportunity to do a yard sale. I can't remember the last time that I'm aware that we did one. So please go to www.ANC8A01.com and register yourself for a spot. As we get closer to it and as the details become, you know, as Robin and others that are working on the project, we sit down and we look at what needs to happen with it. We'll communicate that with you, but we want to make sure that we have enough space for everyone. And so please go to www.ANC8A01.com and look up under 8A01, it'll say community yard sale. Please register so that we know how many people are interested in having a spot, and then based upon how many registrations we get, we'll figure that out as we go. So that's something to look forward to. And then Erica, I know you've been waiting to talk about and discuss our second annual party in the park. I suspect this is going to, so I suspect this is going to take place. I'm hoping to have it take place. I was hoping to do it before the parks, the pool closed. But because of the funding request and our commission being off this month, which is August, it likely will be pushed to September, which I think is okay. It's not going to be a pool party, but, and we may say, I mean, we could look at closing a couple streets in Fairlawn instead and doing it, you know, something more locally instead of over at the park. Either way, I'm still looking at wanting to do some sort of an event that will bring us all together. And I think that if we did it in Fairlawn, along some of the streets, that will get more participation as well. So Erica has offered to chair this committee that we're now creating, right, Erica? Oh, we got it. Okay. All right. Good. So Erica, are you okay with that? By the way.
Chair the party in the park committee.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like just a couple of folks to try to, let's see if we can come down with a date and maybe like I said, pull it back into actually Fairlawn and maybe look at like closing, a street or two or something like that.
Turn it into a block party.
Yeah. Maybe not call it we could call it a block party, but maybe we can come up with something better than a block, something a little bit more catchier, but a block party that's going to be inclusive to families and kids, I think is important again. It's your, however you guys want to take it, I think is up to you guys. I know Samantha here. Oh, Tamika. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. She said she would be willing to help out as well. So, and then Robin said that she would be delighted to. Look at that! You've got a whole committee coming together right in front of you.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Since we last talked about Party in the Park, I am literally organizing a whole different event.
No problem. No, I appreciate. And this is partly my fault and because of timing more than anything, but and that's okay. We got a couple of people that are interested in doing it. So
I still want to be. I can still be on the committee, but I don't know about being the chair of it because of the time things and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Being realistic with myself.
So, folks, if you're interested in being on the committee, just drop me an email and we'll get it together. We'll have them do a meeting via Zoom or something like that, a first time meeting, and get the interest, and we'll figure it out and go from there. So, but let's think early September, before it gets too cold. So drop me an email, tom.donohue, Donohue @anc.dc.gov. And I'm cognizant of the time, so we've got about 15 more minutes. So let's put some sort of a gathering party together in the Fairlawn community. Maybe we can work with maybe we can work with Kramer and see if they'll, they have a huge parking lot in the back. And they've got basketball courts and stuff like that. Maybe we can also pick up some basketballs or let's just see where we take it. So if you're interested in being on the committee, please be involved. Drop me an email and I'll organize a group of us to get together to start talking about it and go from there. How's that sound? And thank you.
That's wonderful. And everybody who, I'm sure a few people probably caught it, but there was some wonderful events this past Saturday down at Anacostia Park by the Skate Pavilion, one of which was the Tech Wellness Society Walk, which I was a part of. It was over 200 people there, so it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great event. If you haven't, I actually did a live video on my commissioner page. If you're not following me on Facebook, I really do encourage you to, because I do regular live videos and talk to you guys probably too much, but it's just facebook.com/Commissioner Tom Donohue. It's a great way that for me to be able to communicate with folks, and I've got like 1,000 or 1,200 or something followers. So a good part of the community and beyond is following. So please feel free to join that and follow that. Almost done, folks. I also want to talk about ANC commissioners. So now is the time. If you have ever thought about running for or being an elected official, if you ever thought about helping your community, ANC commissioner petitions are now underway. If you go to ANC 8A01.com. There's a page of, I think it's on that page, or it might be on my other one, which I can't discuss during our meetings. Well, anyway, there's information out there available for people who, you know, never would have thought that they could run for public office. It's not as hard as it sounds. However, it is really important, and so if you've ever, you know, thought about doing what I do, and, you know, let me know if you have interest. I'll get you in touch. There's information out there on the internet that gives you deadlines and stuff like that. I think I shared some of that on my Facebook page as well. But now you have to basically, you declare, you say, I'm gonna collect signatures, and you have to collect at least 25 signatures. I always recommend you doing at least, you know, 35 or 40, just in case any of the signatures get tossed out. And so you're welcome to. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that in this forum, I'm restricted from discussing any candidate or election information. So I can't talk about any campaigns that are going on or anything like that. They have to be completely separate from my regular Facebook page or regular Facebook pages and things like that. So if you're wondering that why you haven't seen much of that, that's why. There are really strict campaign laws that prevent sort of, I'll say, cross-contamination, and you have to keep them completely separate. So just FYI. Does anybody have any questions about that? But really, there's several. I think that there's two commission or single member districts in our commission who have not yet. There's nobody running, but there's also a lot of new folks who have declared and who are currently collecting their signatures. So I'm really excited about how that's going to play out. The election is November 3rd, and so if you've ever thought about it, you do have it's soon coming to the next couple of weeks, 2 weeks I think, where you have to have all your signatures in and into the Board of Elections. So if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to me individually. Any questions or comments so far? Oh, one thing I do want to add in regards to Q Street. So I also want to let you know that I've been very active with some of there's two tenants in the building. I had a phone call with a lot of the DC agencies the week before June 10th, and then on June 10th, I brought all of those agencies actually to Q Street and walked through the building at 1828, along with the residents. So if you hadn't seen that, just know that those types of things are happening. And then there is another sort of walk like that more for enforcement that's going to be happening very soon. And so if you see a large contingent of people on Q Street or anything, don't be concerned, but this is our ways of trying to address the problem. Hopefully it's just not a come to this, you know, meeting and nothing come of it, because I'm not that type of person. So, yeah. So with that said, okay, I think that's everything that I had on our agenda. I think that the Nicholson project, 64 units, it is, it should be breaking ground any time. We should be, we should also be finalizing. Well, we are finalizing. Just waiting for signatures basically on the community benefits agreement that will actually bring, I negotiated with the the developer of that project, $10,000, $5,000 to Boone Elementary, $5,000 to Kramer over 2 years. I'm proud to say that this year, the first part of that will bring Kramer Middle School brand new football uniforms that the students can be proud of when they get out there. Again, pushing our after-school programming, get the kids out the streets, you know, get them onto a football field. Their football program is pretty strong. So, and then we're also looking at how we can assist the cheerleaders as well. So that's coming. Then as far as the $2,500 for Boone, we're looking at getting coats and things in preparation for back to school and making sure that students are also warm as well, among other some requests from the school. So that money that the developers have invested in our community is going directly to our community and to our schools. And you know, there's a hotel coming in over by the Frederick Douglass Bridge, and this was a hot topic of our conversation at our last full commission meeting. And I flat out told them that I will not support the project unless there is a community benefits agreement as part of it. Now, there's, I don't know why it's not required. However, if they're looking for our support on any changes that may need to occur, my opinion, it will stick. That unless there's a community benefits agreement that benefits are directly to our community and our commission, i.e. schools or nonprofits, things like that, then I will not support the program or the proposal. I'm just one person, but I made that very clear very early on in the meeting, and I will stick by that. I think that we need to negotiate that, and it may be too late in the process to do so, but this is the first that's been brought to my attention and to my ability to actually have say in it, and so that's the stand that I have taken. If you're not going to directly benefit, if you're a hotel coming in with a major brand, you're going to think about our community first, and that includes bringing a community-based agreement and giving back directly to the resources that really need it here in our SME. So, yeah, that's it. And I have 3 more minutes. Is there anything else? Is there anybody open door? Just anybody that wants to say anything? If you have anything, feel free to share. Any announcements, any organizational events or things happening? I do want to acknowledge that Treon had a Resources to the Block event last week that brought a lot of different agencies out. All of your commissioners, but one I think was there for majority of the day. It was on Thursday. It was super hot. So I think that some of those pictures are on my Facebook page as well. But is there anything that anybody wants to bring, address, or express any concerns? Okay. With that said, you are always welcome to contact me, and of course, you probably always see me out in the community anyway on a regular basis. So, if you have any concerns or questions, please reach out to me, 202-560-1994. There's a lot of information, including all of our previous ANC meetings, including our full commission meetings, are now posted on our website. At ANC 8A01.com. Mr. Perry, go for it. Mr. Perry, go ahead. Your hand's up. Unmute yourself. Oh. It doesn't say that you're muted, but I don't hear you. I don't know if your mic is set up. Okay. Okay, Charlie. Okay, no problem. Sorry about that. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'll make sure that this gets put up onto our website. I want to thank Ms. Richardson again for her coming in and talking about the Wellness Center. And I will see you all this same time next month, August on. August the 26th. Please put it on your calendars. And if you have not visited www.anc8A01.com, please do so. I spent a lot of time updating it and making it all nice and informative. And I'm still going to continue to do more with it, but it is the most transparent single member district that I have seen. And maybe others that have their own websites, but when I say accountability and transparency, you got it all. You got everything you need right there. So www.anc8A01. Hold on one second, because somebody is trying to join. Ms. Bonnick. Good evening. We were just about ready to end, but I saw you come into the room. Wanted to just acknowledge you and see if there's anything, any concerns or questions that you had before we ended the meeting. Ms. Bonnick. Okay. Again, the replay will be up on our ANC website probably within the next couple of days. So thank you for everyone for coming and have a great evening. Please stay dry and safe.
Thank you, Tom. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming out.
When they start running, I'm like, oh my God, turn down. Then decided that I was like,
I was a little bit worried about walking over. I'm like, and I ran into a couple of the neighbors, and we're talking. I'm like, you got to go a couple blocks that way. I said, let's go. So, did it come? I was in here, so I didn't. Oh, it came down. It looked like it was the sky was black. So.
I'll just wait for you to like.
Yeah, I was sitting here by myself, but it's okay. I understand. I was trying to get out before, but I was running late too. So I'm glad you came. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
I tried to come to the meeting, but I think the last time I came to, I haven't seen any updates. But I'm looking at the website later.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff up on the website. So goodbye, everyone.